Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is the final episode of The Boy from the Past, Unit 11, from our Syrian curriculum, Passport to the World, Grade 8, presented to you by Elaf Private School. Unit 11, Inventions, The Boy from the Past, Episode 6, The Buried Treasure. First of all, before reading, we'd like to look at the pictures. Remember last time, Umar, Professor Hussam, Uncle Firas and Mazen followed the map that was on their Phoenician stone, which is exactly like the map that Layla found on the internet. They followed the map and they arrived to a place near a cave and near the sea, and Professor Hussam had a metal detector with him, and when he brought it close to the ground, it started to beep, beep, and he asked Mazen to dig. When Mazen dug, they found a metal box. This is the picture that we have on the front of our books, remember? Look, wow, there's a treasure. They found a treasure. And that's probably, or that is why Harry Dark wanted the second piece of stone, the one that had the map on it. And who is this person? Okay, I'm going to give you now a minute to begin silent reading, as we usually do at the beginning of our lessons. If you haven't already read this final part, driven by excitement and anticipation after our last lesson. Okay, I'll ask you now to pause this video and begin silent reading for the whole lesson. Okay, you're back. That means you're done, hopefully. Okay, now we will read each part and explain the new vocab. The Boy from the Past, Episode 6, The Buried Treasure. Now, what's the meaning of the word buried? Buried can be an adjective or a verb, a past verb. Here, it is an adjective because the word treasure is a noun. What's the meaning of buried? Buried means it is covered with sand and stones. It is placed under the ground. Okay, it is placed or hidden underground. When somebody dies, we bury them. Now, Mazen discovered an ancient metal box. You remember the meaning of the word ancient. Ancient means, yes, very old. Ancient is an adjective. He dug it out of the hole and put it on the sand. Professor Hussam gently removed the sand from the box. He slowly lifted the lid. Remember the meaning of the word lid? The cover of something. Remember when we talked about the lids of your water bottles? So he opened the metal box. He lifted the lid. Lift means to put it up. And they saw silver pots and shining jewelry. So there was jewelry, silver and gold in that box. That's why we called it a treasure. Treasure means something a group of valuable things, okay? Valuable, and most likely they are expensive, okay? Remember when we talked about the meaning of the word mask? When we studied in the first term, when we were studying about different treasures that people found in their field, and we talked about the treasures found in Egypt. We said they found 2 golden masks. Remember? A mask is something that covers part or all of your face. It is worn as disguise, so no one will know who you are. Okay? Usually it is worn to amuse. Amuse means to enjoy, to make people, to entertain people, or terrify, to frighten other people. Okay? You know, on Halloween, lots of people wear masks on their faces. Okay? Sometimes on birthdays, children wear masks on their faces. So they found 2 golden masks. Everybody was astonished. What's the meaning of astonished? They were surprised. Look, oh, wow. Look, their mouths are open, Omar and Mazen, and they're all, and maybe if the picture was a bit clearer, you would see that their eyes were widely open. They were all astonished. Astonished means greatly surprised or impressed, amazed. Wow. Then, suddenly, they heard a laugh behind them. Ha 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 ha. Professor Harry Dark? That's right, Professor. We didn't find the map in the house last night. But now you've done all the hard work for us. Thank you. What hard work is he talking about? Following the map, finding the site, digging out and carrying out or taking out the metal box. So you've done all the hard work for us. Thank you. I think I'll take the box now. He's very confident, huh? What does Umar say? Umar is a young boy and he's been following or he's been trying to find out about this Phoenician mystery, whatever. So he says, "No, I'll stop you." Harry, oh, you must be joking. Detective, don't move. Who's that? I'm a detective, and I've brought the police. You're under arrest. What's the meaning of the word detective? Remember when we talked about the metal detector? Something that finds something? A detective is someone who does lots of research to find out a criminal or to find out the truth behind something. A detective can be one of the police, or he can be just a detective. Like, remember we talked about Detective Conan? So he said, I'm a detective and I've brought the police. You're under arrest. What's the meaning of under arrest? Here, we said a detective is a person whose job is to find information about something or someone. An arrest, you see these police, what did they do? They arrested this person. They have arrested this person. Arrest is a verb. Under arrest, this person now is under arrest. See? And they have handcuffs. They have arrested this man. So, arrest means to stop someone and hold them so they can't continue breaking the law. You know the meaning of the word law. The rules of the country. So he said, you're under arrest. Now, not only Harry Dark is surprised to hear that there's a detective there, but Professor Hussam also. He says, how did you know we were here? Like, he's surprised. How did you know we needed help? Or how did you know that anyone was here near a cave and near the sea? He said, I'm sorry, Professor, but we followed you. Followed, it means we came after you. We walked after you. Harry Dark is a dangerous man. We wanted you to be safe, so we were worried about you. And we wanted to catch him too. He's stolen many valuable treasures from our country. Now I want you to stop and think about the S, the apostrophe S here. What kind of apostrophe S is this? Is it a possessive S? Or is it a contraction of verb to be is? Or is it the contraction of the verb has? Now, if it were to be a possessive S, there should be a noun after it. Stolen is not a noun. It is a verb. If it were to be a verb to be is, after is, if we have a verb, the verb is always has ing, right? Present continuous. There's no ing. This is verb 3. Steal, stole, stolen. So that means this S is the contraction of the verb has. He has stolen. It is present perfect. And we studied that verb this year. So he said, he has or he's stolen many valuable treasures from our country. So that's part two. Now we come to part three. Who is this man? Where do you think they are? You see these ancient things, ancient pots. Remember, what did Aunt Miriam tell Harry Dark when he said, I'd like to buy your Phoenician pieces? They said, we want to give them to the museum. So here we have the curator. This curator is the person who is responsible of the things in a museum. Okay? A curator is a person in charge of a museum or a library. What does he say here? He says, this is a wonderful gift to the museum. We're going to have a special exhibition about the Phoenician box next month. Exhibition is when you have an event, like not a party, but like a special day or special days with a special time, special appointment, where you're going to show lots of people something special, like paintings or, look here, they say, it's an event at which objects, such as paintings, are shown to the public. Public means whoever wants to see it, okay? Sometimes you pay money to enter an exhibition. Sometimes it's for free. So they said next month we're going to have an exhibition about Amir, the Phoenician boy, the boy from the past, Phoenician boy. And we would like you, Omar and Layla, to be our special guests. Thank you, says Layla. So, what are your plans for the rest of your holiday? It's mean of rest. For what is left of your holiday, for what remains. Rest means the part of something that remains. Well, we aren't going to look for any more treasure. School starts next week. What about you, Layla? I think I'll write a story. I'll call it The Phoenician Boy. This way we have ended, alhamdulillah, the 6 different series of our story this year. Whether you think it was a nice, interesting story or whether you think it was a boring story, inshallah, you have learned many new vocabs and you have increased your vocabulary and improved your language. Finally, I want to tell you at the end that true, this is the end of our story, but it's not the end of our curriculum. And learning never ends. Okay? I'm really worried about you staying home and not coming to school and us not really supervising how much you're studying. Now, your minds get hungry, just like your stomachs. Everything needs food in this world. And what you feed your mind is what's going to make your future. So I really want you to be, I really want you to be wise in what you are feeding your mind, okay? In what you're reading, in what you're spending your time on. And enjoy studying. I mean, what we learn with pleasure, we never forget. I always want you to be positive. Now think that you have the ability to choose the time you want to study, to choose the subject you want to begin with. Like in regular school days, we give you the schedule. Now you're going to study math. Like, I don't want to study math now. I feel like studying Arabic or I feel like studying science. You have the free choice of choosing which subject you're going to study. But as you study, enjoy it. Because really, whatever we learn with pleasure, with love, we will never forget. Is a beautiful subject. I mean, and it's so variable. You can study stories, you can study grammar, you can study new vocab, you can study spelling. It's so interesting. And the final thing I want to tell you is if you are not willing to learn, no one can help you. But if you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. See you soon in a new video, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.